Okay, I'm going to talk about something that has led me down a rabbit hole today. And I think it's a very important conversation that needs to be had around the wealth transfer that is about to happen over the next 25 years and why now more than ever it is absolutely vital that you look at who is standing beside you as you create wealth and as you become a woman of wealth. So I have some notes because I don't want to miss, I'm going to give you a lot of stats in this Instagram live, and I want you to hear these actual numbers based on reports. I was reading this report earlier today. So $80 to $100 trillion. Hear me out when I say this. This is the amount of wealth that is expected to move into women's hands in the next 25 years. Okay, $80 to $100 trillion. This is what is estimated. There are some reports that say 72 to 74 trillion. Regardless, 80 to 100 seems to be the average. So this is a massive amount of wealth. This is nearly 4/5 of all wealth that is being transferred into the United States, which is wild. And this is one of the biggest wealth transfers in history that's going to happen over the next 25 years. When I read this and I started to dive into it, I was like, whoa, why is this not being talked about? Why is nobody really bringing this to the surface? And people are talking about it, but the part that people aren't talking about is the way that women are partnered moving forward. Like our generation now, the person that you decide to stand beside and do life with is going to decide how this wealth transfer becomes freedom, how it becomes legacy, how it becomes impactful, or whether it gets lost in translation, it gets lost in collapse, it gets lost in destruction. And that is what I want to talk about in this live. So here are some stats for you, and then we're going to kind of dive into what I think is as women, we really need to understand moving forward why it's so important, the partner that we pick, and why if you are in your late 30s, in your 40s, and you haven't been married yet, and or you're still in the space of figuring out who you want to do life beside, why this is actually a really beautiful gift for you. Chances are you are here because you are discerning, because you are courageous, because there is a part of you that knew you were not willing to settle when it came to partnership. And what we're going to be talking about in this live is another reason why you should be so discerning with who you decide to do life beside. Because what I know is that a wealthy woman who stands beside a strong, loving, stable, emotionally available man is going to be able to increase her capacity to receive more wealth. Because a woman who is supported in her power can also see a man and support him in his power. And that together evolves your ability to change the world and truly live out your purpose and accumulate more wealth for good. Okay, so here are the statistics. So according to Bank of America Institute, out of 124 trillion moving generations forward, 54 trillion of the money over the next 25 years will go to surviving spouses, and 95% of those spouses will be women because of the projection of women outliving men. Okay. Also, 47 trillion of that 124 trillion is going to go to younger generations of women. So that is about 101, according to the Bank of America study, and also there's another report that I'll drop on my stories later. That is about $101 trillion that is going to be making its way into women's hands, or roughly 80% of the wealth transfer that's going to be happening over the next 25 years. Now, I know what you're going to be saying. Well, what if I'm not a trust fund baby? What if I am not going to be inheriting this money? How does this affect me? And what I want you to understand is that regardless of whether or not this money is going to be passed down to you, money is going to be circulating among women. It's going to be circulating in your networks. It's going to be circulating in your community. It's going to be circulating in your client base. It's going to be circulating in the markets that you shop in and your opportunities and your relationships. It is going to be circulating everywhere by women. And what I know is that I think about my business mentors. I think about, who I go to, the mentors that I have and the people that I invest in long term. I invest in women, and I also invest in men who empower women. So if this is going to be circulating over the next 25 years, you play a part in accumulating more wealth as a female. So let's talk now about why this is so important that you have a strong, supportive male that's by your side. If you are looking at, I'm going to be stepping into new levels of wealth. I was just doing a training for some of the women inside of my expansion mastermind about why now is the most important time, more than ever, to get really clear on your purpose and how you are meant to serve the world. Regardless of what that looks like, whether you are coaching, leading, motivational speaker, or you decide that your passion truly is in pharmaceutical sales. Whatever it is, if you are truly living in accordance to your design and to your purpose, and you're following it in alignment with who you are going to be a conduit for wealth. And if you are a wealthy woman, you need the right support and partnership by your side. Here's why. Let's talk about why it doesn't work if you don't have someone that's strong by your side. And I wrote some notes for this. What I've noticed is that money will always magnify dysfunction in a relationship. If your relationship is based in competition, if your relationship is built on resentment, or you feel like you need to shrink around your partner, you are going to unconsciously cap your ability to make more money just to keep the peace. If you truly believe, truly deeply believe, and I'm going to say it, that men are here to just protect and provide. And that is how you show up inside of a partnership. And you decide to dim your light and not step fully into your power, chances are there is dysfunction, and you are not going to be a conduit for true wealth that can change the world. Okay, so that's the first way that picking the wrong partner can really affect your life. The second way, we think that transactional love is going to be enough. And I see this with so many women that I support. If you, and this goes back to what I just spoke about, if you think that there are specific quote unquote roles inside of your relationship, and your nervous system is always in this defense, like, oh, well, he makes the money, and so I take care of the household. If that is the role that you have put yourself in a box to be in, there is no way for you to fully expand because your body is in a constant state of bracing. You're like, this is just my role, and this is the only thing that I am able to do because this is the constraints that I've put around myself. Okay, so if you pick a partner that has put you into, think about this. If we know that this amount of money is coming into the hands of women over the next 25 years, and you have put yourself in a box that the only thing that you are meant to do is nurture, just nurture, and not provide anything, not step into your purpose, not monetize your gifts, not be a powerful force in the world, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Think about that, truly. The third thing that I see often, that I think women sometimes get wrong, is that we isolate ourselves. Without support inside of a partnership, we as women try to carry it all. Right? So this is the opposite side of the spectrum. We think that we need to take care of all the bills. We feel like we need to take care of the family. We feel like we need to run a business. This is when burnout, this is when collapse, this is when, regardless of how much money you have in the bank, if you feel like you are isolated and you are in a partnership where you feel isolated, you feel like you have to make the money and you have to make dinner and you have to clean and you have to do the laundry and you have to take care of the kids and you have to do, you're isolating yourself. And, or if you feel isolated in a partnership, there's no way, you're constantly braced that you're going to be a conduit for wealth. So we have to look at, when we pull this full circle, this is why it is so important that we get really clear on who we decide to do life with. Because you can choose someone that puts you in a box that you're only meant to nurture and be in your quote unquote feminine. You can be in your feminine and still be a powerhouse, you all. You can be in your feminine and still follow your purpose. You can be in your feminine and make a fuck ton of money. You can do all of that. You can do all of it, right? You can also be in your feminine and be in a really beautiful relationship, and you can make money, and you can have a partner that stands beside you, who understands your power, who truly sees you, who champions you. And that will be a conduit for you to step into more money in your life. I'm going to give you an example of this. I had been trying to hit a milestone in my business with the types of women that I wanted to serve for many, many years. For probably 3 years, it had been a goal that had been on my list. And I remember being in past relationships, and I would get really close to that goal. And in the last relationship that I was in, there was I never really heard like, hey, you can do this. In fact, I often heard that maybe I should switch careers, or maybe I should look at going back and getting another degree. When I got into my partnership that I am in now, I'll never forget, I was talking about this dream that I had. And I was sitting at dinner, I was sitting down with Nathan, and Nathan said, you need to go bigger. Like, look at how you are touching women's lives. Like you are changing their lives in massive ways. You have the testimonials, you have the numbers to prove it. Women come into your circle and they literally never leave. They never leave. And that's because the gift that you are giving them to come back home to themselves is rippling out. It's changing lives. I have no doubt that you're going to totally surpass that goal this year. And sure enough, I well surpassed the goal. I opened a mastermind. I wanted to enroll 12 women into it. I didn't even have to open it to the public. And I have 15 women inside of that mastermind who are all changing their lives, and the ripple effect is continuing out past the mastermind. And it was because Nathan said, I believe in you. I can believe you can do more than that. There is something about having a partner by your side who truly trusts in you, who champions you, who is a sounding board to really see your greatness, that magnifies your ability to not just be a conduit for wealth, but also reach masses if that is what you desire. Okay. So when we're talking about this new era that's upon us, it's not about transactional partnership. We're talking about transformational partnership. We're talking about partnership that's rooted in expansion. We're talking about partnership that's rooted in truly seeing one another, not feeling isolated, knowing that women are going to be stepping into the ability to hold more wealth. And we need really strong, powerful, emotionally available men right alongside us who are holding probably just as much as we are, that can see our power, that can champion us to be better, that can see maybe what we can't see sometimes. Because that is the catalyst when men and women work together, not when they're separate, not when they're put in a box of you need to fulfill this role and you need to fulfill this role. That's not the way that we change the world. We change the world by saying, hey, wait, I'm going to deal with my stuff. You're going to deal with yours, but we're better together than we are apart. And I can see that. Okay. A woman's nervous system can expand when she feels supported, when she feels safe in love, when she lets safety hold her more than the wealth, because the safety is the conduit for attracting and being a magnet for more money in your life. And a man's nervous system expands when he feels respected, when he feels trusted. And so being able to really amplify a woman's vision instead of competing with it, that is what we have to look for inside of picking a partner, because that is what is going to catapult your ability to be a part of that wealth equation that is getting ready to transfer into women. So I want you to do something really quick before I kind of close this out. This is just something for you to think about. I'm going to be speaking more about this in depth. Like how do you find a partner like that? How do you Nathan is always encouraging me to go bigger, because he can see my greatness. He can see what I'm meant to do in the world. Like he is just as bought into my mission as I am. Truly. And he is the first person that I have dated who stands behind me 1000%. He was like, I know that you can do everything you set your mind to and more. And women ask me, how do you find a partner like that? How do you do it? I'm going to be talking more about this in my Manifest Your Dream Relationship training. I'm going to actually walk you through what I did to call in partnership like this. But before we close out for today, I want to leave you with something. Okay. So I want you to take a moment and I want you to close your eyes. Like wherever you are, if you can, if you're driving, please do not close your eyes. But if you are sitting somewhere, if you are lying down, I want you to take a moment and I really want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine that you are, like tomorrow, you have $10 million that is going to drop into your bank account. And I want you to feel what happens in your body. Notice what happens. Like if you were to open up your bank account through Bank of America, through Chase, through Wells Fargo, whoever your bank account is with, and you saw $10 million in your bank account, I want you to notice how that feels inside of your body. Okay? And then I want you to imagine your current ideal partner standing right beside you as you notice that $10 million in your account. Now, what do you notice in your body? Do you feel steadier? Do you feel freer? Do you feel safe? Do you feel heavy? Do you feel contracted? Notice what information your nervous system is giving you. And whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever sensation you're feeling right now, this is your nervous system telling you whether your love can hold your expansion. Like whether you truly believe that with the right partner by your side, you are able to not just receive that wealth, but expand it. So just notice how that feels in your body. And just get curious about it. If this is all like, oh my gosh, I don't understand what just happened, come to Manifest Your Dream Relationship. We're going to be diving more into that. But if you walk through this exercise and you noticed expansion, you noticed safety, you noticed a feeling of calm and peace and maybe even excitement. And in the moment you brought someone in, you felt that sensation grow. This is what is possible for you when you have the right partner by your side. I truly believe that we as women are here to shift and change the world. And I also deeply believe that we as women are here to shift and change the world alongside men. We cannot do it without them. Which is why it is so vital and so important that you pick the right person to stand beside you. Someone who champions you, someone who understands your purpose, someone who is going to see you in a way that you may not see yourself, and know that you are a powerful woman who can change the world. Okay, this wealth transfer, it's not just financial, you guys. It is revolutionary. Whether you inherit it directly or whether you don't, this money is going to circulate around you. You are going to be able to have a piece of the pie if you want it and if you're willing to put the work in to have it. And it's important that you start to really ground into how this feels. Right? This is exactly what I support women in finding for themselves. Right? Wealth is a frequency. Wealth is a frequency, just like love is a frequency. And we often think that wealth and love are different frequencies. But chances are, if you struggle in the love department, if you struggle attracting healthy partnership, you probably also struggle in maybe not attracting money, but holding on to it and creating wealth out of it. Because you don't feel worthy, or you're still living under old paradigms that were ingrained in you as a child. If that is you, you must come to Manifest Your Dream Relationship because we're going to talk all about that. But I want you to take some time as we close things out today to really think about, maybe even journal for yourself around how am I going to hold wealth in this next paradigm shift? What identity do I want to step into as a woman who knows that this is going to shift drastically over the next 25 years? And also, what type of partner do I want by my side? Those are the questions you have to ask. Okay, if you're watching this replay, please drop watch underneath this video so I know that you were here. And if you want to come to Manifest Your Dream Relationship, it is September 2nd through the 4th. It's at 5 o'clock Central Time each day. It's about an hour long each day. I am going to be there live. I'm also opening 10 spots for me to coach and facilitate somatic experiencing in real time. So you can sign up for one of those 10 spots. We already have almost 200 of you signed up. It is only $11 to attend. Again, September 2nd through the 4th. We open up a private Telegram group on September 1st that will go till September 8th, where I'm going to be dropping in activations and really teaching on a lot of wealth dynamics and sacred partnership dynamics. So I love you guys. Hopefully this was transformational for you and opened your mind up to something. I will see you next time.